Here has been the unboxing of the kit for roof rails, Mazda CX-5 2017 to current, and crossbars. We have our roof rail kit, crossbars for the luggage rack, and then the boxes of installation accessories. Came in this box here from Amazon. I can put a link to in the description below. So pretty straightforward so far. This is the all black version. It's going on a 2025 Mazda CX-5. And I'll show you the vehicle as well as the removal of the inserts to get started for this installation. Here is the Mazda CX-5 year 2025. First insert has been removed. You can see, and cleaned out. Bring a little step stool with, and let's see if we can get the driver's side off. I'm starting at the back here, and so I don't scratch, I just was able to use a flathead and kind of pop that back piece out so that it unlatches. And if you can get underneath of it, kind of twist and pull up. You notice there, it actually attaches to a little, I guess, clamp underneath. And just work your way down. Twist and pull up. And you got one more here. So you've got a little snap at the front and the back. This is where you're going to actually connect the rail and the crossbars here in a minute. And then these little clasps or clips that kind of align with these little rubber pieces here. So that's how you actually remove the little rail that's already in there. And those will go away. And then we will move on with the installation. Here is the layout and installation for the luggage rack on a 2025 Mazda CX-5. I've laid it all out here. This is how mine came. It is color coordinated and it's labeled pretty well. There are some differences here. You'll notice, make sure that these go forward and the rear crossbar and the front crossbar are correct. If yours is not labeled, the longer one goes in the front. And you will also notice, because I'm doing this against what the instructions say, I'm assembling it and then just putting it right on top of the vehicle. The left side or driver's side is the one rail that flares out to the left. And it is, in my case, was marked with a left and is in the blue wrapper. And then you'll notice I've got everything set out. In my case, it is color-coded again. The rear beam, cross beam is in blue, front is in clear, and right or passenger side is in clear. These are the items that come in the little bags with your little tools. I would get a drill and the appropriate attachment. But these go as the piece to connect the rails along with the little foam pad. And then I'll show you very quickly here. One thing, I'm going to use my drill and a T25 star and a T15. We'll show you what that is for here in a second as we get started. Basically, your T15 is just to remove these here. There's 4 on each side. Here and here, they need to be removed. The bumper pad, I guess, just slides in here, and we'll go attached like that, and obviously into the section here. And I'll show you, this side is unassembled, the other side is assembled, and then these plastic pieces at the very end just drop down in there to cover up where you connect it. So those are your pieces, the unattached side, and then the attached, already assembled side is rail. Your little pieces drop down in there after you connect it to the rails to the top of the vehicle. This side is already connected. This side is already connected. And as you can see, you've got 2 that go into the top to connect these 2 pieces, and then 2 that go into the bottom that connect the actual cross rails to the rails, or the crossbars to the rails. So that's basically how it's going to look. And we'll go out to the car and show you the prep for that piece next. All right, we are back out at the vehicle. This is the passenger side. You'll notice the prep has already been done out here, so you know these little pieces here, your pad just drops right down in there. I didn't read the instructions, but to me, that way makes plenty of sense. And then you'll notice as you look at these, there is a difference. That goes up into the rail. As you set it, you'll notice it just fits right on here. You can't make a mistake. And it sets right on top. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on both sides. So we will continue with the assembly and then complete the installation. One thing I forgot to mention is these will be stamped RL, and the other one is RR. I would have thought that meant rear left and rear right, but it probably should have been annotated with a front right, front left, rear right, rear left. However, one goes on either side. The RL seemed to go on the front. The RR seemed to go on the rear And then you will notice after you place the rubber seal there, these match up perfectly. And then you'll notice the thicker, wider side goes to the front in both instances, and you cannot make a mistake. Otherwise, it will not fit in there. So just make sure that as you're assembling it, if you assemble it as you go and then place it on top of the vehicle, make sure everything is correct, or you're going to find yourself doing it over again. And here we are. Everything's pre-assembled for the most part, ready to go on the vehicle. And the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of complaints in the comment field is you either need a special tool that will give you the ability to tighten all of this together after you put on the rails and then go to affix the cross beams. There's not enough room with obviously the tools they give you, the drill that I have. So that is why I am doing it this way, and we'll just see how it works. The instructions obviously say to put the rails on first, and then your roof rails, and then your crossbars. However, once the rails are already fixed, coming up underneath, unless you have a special tool that gives you the flexibility to work underneath this and tighten them down, you're going to run into problems. So we'll see how it goes. Possible both ways. Just depends on what is easiest and most convenient for you. All right, one more piece of advice before we actually take this out to the vehicle. I guess number one, there's the star, the T15 and the T25, and then the Allen wrench would be all that you need. I'm not sure what size that is, sorry. These appear to be extras, at least in the product that I purchased off of Amazon. 2 of these, which actually are right here. And then 3 of these, again, sorry, not sure what size without looking at it, but I will show you. They are right here, 2 on each side. So 2, 4, 6, and then 8. One thing that you'll notice on the passenger side, these are fitted. They do not give you any room for adjustment. On the driver's side, you'll notice I have them started, but it's going to allow me for some fine-tune adjustments actually when I get out to the vehicle. So I did not tighten those down. Everything else is tightened. Okay, not the finished product, but my wife and I carefully placed the rack and the rails on top of the vehicle. So here's what it's going to look like. But you need to notice that you need to have a clear path with your drill, and I think that's the T25. You're going to drop him right in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then 6 times on the other side. So let's do an easy one. Oh, you know what? Hold on just a moment. All right, what we're going to try and do is 1, and then conclude this, and I'll go back and do the other 11. But this is the little tool that they gave us. It actually is probably not a T25. This is a little bit larger, but I do a little piece of tape in there so that it will hold. And see, we're just going to drop that in there and get it started. I hope. Maybe not. All right, there we go. Just don't cross thread it. Oh, it's not gonna grab for us here. Ah, there we go. Now I'm not going to cinch it down because I'm going to do that all at the same time, but then you'll take your little plastic piece and make sure it's just flush. And that will be the installation. So that's what it's going to look like when it's completed. Hope this helps somebody out. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Like to hear your thoughts. Thanks.